Let me top up. Hello, everyone. Hey! Lovely to see you all.
Hello everybody, my name is Antoine. Welcome to the Domaine du Cray. It's a family business since 5 generations. I have taken the winery in 2006 because my father is quite old. Now he's 90 years old.
90?
Yes,
Yeah.
90.
It's the wine that keeps him going.
Yes, yes. You have taken the winery very young. After study in wine produce in Bordeaux and 1 year in New Zealand. And my first harvest was in 2005 here. Donc this is the Domaine du Cray, the Clos de Cray. Alors we have 80 hectares, 75 exactly hectares, in 3 appellations: Montlouis, Crémant de Loire, and Touraine. And here we are in the Clos de Cray. Alors I can turn my phone if you want to see. Alors Montlouis, we are in Montlouis. Montlouis is grapes is Chenin. In Montlouis, we can produce Chenin sec, dry, medium dry, sweet, and sparkling wine. In Crémant de Loire, we can produce Crémant de Loire white, like this, and rosé, like this. And we produce red, 100% Gamay, we will taste, and 100% Pinot Noir, but we will not taste. It's just to show you. The 3 wine is here, voilà. And we can start with Touraine Sauvignon.
The Loire Valley is a very long valley. It's got lots of different wines from Sancerre and Puy, and then you follow it through Vouvray and Tours, and just around Tours, right in the centre there, is where Antoine is. It's in Montlouis.
Can we do a group tasting and have a little try?
We're on. So Antoine, if you can see everybody, we're all now got the Sauvignon Blanc in hand, swirling it around, having a good old sniff. But so tell us about your Sauvignon Blanc.
The main part in the vineyard is Chenin, because and the main part of the production is white wine, because the soil is very chalky.
Okay.
And it's very mineral and very interesting for the white wine. And we have it's very mineral, citrus, and fresh, and interesting for this type of wine.
It's got that crispness, but it's got a hint of sweetness. It's not too sharp. It's quite nice and soft and round and full. How do you make it so fresh and yet not too acidic?
I think since 5-6 years, we have to make harvest not too late, to keep acidity and fresh and aromas. In the vineyards, we don't take off the leaves because the sun can burn the grapes, and we protect all the grapes by the leaves. It's very important for me to keep acidity and fresh.
Well, I think you've certainly succeeded here. I think I mean, we are doing a summer tasting now, and I think this epitomizes it. I think, in fact, all 3 of your wines this evening to me are very summery and dare I say, dangerously easy to drink.
I've drunk my first glass already, and we know I get carried away at the Friday tastings, so I'm going to try and slow down.
So I don't want to move on too quickly to the Crémant de Loire, but is that made predominantly from Chenin?
Alors, usually Crémant de Loire, I like to make crémant with minimum 40-45% of chenin.
Antoine, what would you eat with the Sauvignon Blanc? We've got some people say eat it with smoked salmon or with goat's cheese. So chèvre, saumon fumé.
Yes, no problem for that. I think we can starting in aperitif first, like now. After you can salmon. I like. I think not cooked with too much spicy. Not too much spicy.
I think we should move on to the Crémant de Loire, which I'm itching, because I haven't opened my bottle yet. I'm itching to taste it. So this is fundamentally just like, this is a champagne, like champagne. Champagne, of course, is a region.
This is a method traditional. This is the same method like champagne. It's second fermentation inside the bottle, and we keep the bottle minimum 24 months in my cave before degorging, and we put the cork.
So for those of you that have joined the spring tasting, even in the interim case, actually, I think we had a sparkling rosé. We've had a sparkling wine every couple of weeks that we've been doing our tastings. We've had lots of comparison with Prosecco. This is much drier. I think everyone prefers your wine. I think it's the favourite sparkling that we've had out of the tastings that we've been doing with Mark. Mark, maybe you can help us out a bit, but what kind of, I guess, flavours should we be getting on the palate? What should we be, it feels like it draws a bit more because it's slightly drier. But what should we be smelling and then tasting?
It's very important to have the tasting will be like this. We don't want un vin. We want fresh acidity, straight.
So a clean
along the palate.
And we want it's very you smell, but usually for sparkling wine, it's the most important in your mouth. It's not forcément here because you're carbonic gas, but carbonic gas keeps the flavors because it's okay. But here, when you drink, you have first, the middle, and the end, and you have to be like this, and the end is very important sur la langue.
Yeah. Should we do it, Mark? Is it worth us doing a swirl and a...
Well, the trouble is when you do a swirl with sparkling wine, is that all the bubble, it just explodes in your mouth, and you'll if you swallow it, you'll just be belching for the next 5 minutes. But you could give it a try. The trouble is, it's not easy to slurp. I tend instead of slurping, chew it. So it's really fresh and fruity, and the thing is, if you have a champagne, an expensive champagne that's been sort of 2 years or more, or in our case we've got a champagne that's been for 5 or 6 years on the lees, you get a much richer, heavier, more buttery style. And this, despite I mean, this has had 2 years, but actually it's really fresh. So what you'll get is a balance of that lovely freshness, but still with some depth and complexity coming from the lees, the yeast.
And
I think it's time to move on to the third and final wine.
Okay, let's have a look at some red wine, because so Antoine, this is, did you say it's 100% Gamay or just predominantly Gamay?
Alors, usually we have 80% Gamay and a little bit Co. Une petite pointe de Co. The main part is Gamay.
Gamay is the grape variety for Beaujolais, and it's a lovely fresh, fruity thing. I mean, with a deep, beautiful colour. And of course, Beaujolais, Beaujolais Nouveau. Remember that it's gone out of fashion now. But a fleury, Chirouble or a Morgon or Saint-Amour, all those. But predominantly, what the UK market, the name we all recognise is Fleury, which is 100% Gamay, and made from this grape. And if you can have a look at the colour, if you still got it, this is 2018 vintage, and it's just that delightful purple colour coming through. If you hold your glass, tilt the glass and just look at the rim, it's beautifully purple. It's just absolutely gorgeous in colour. And swirl it around and have a sniff. It's this is Gamay. This to me says Beaujolais Nouveau.
It is much more purple. For those that joined when we did the Ridgeback tasting, we were looking at really dark blood red wines that got darker and darker, and this really is quite purple.
And it's almost like Ribena in colour. And that's a characteristic of the Gamay grape. And the smell to me is very much. I'm getting. I don't know if you can smell talcum powder or Parma violets.
La cerise. Comment on dit cerise en?
Cherries.
I've got aspirin.
On a une cerise très mûre. C'est.
Ripe cherries is what Antoine is saying.
Aspirin.
I'm not, I don't take aspirin too much. Marzipan.
We've got marzipan.
I tell you what, I'm getting marzipan. That's a good one.
C'est quoi en français? In French?
Frangipane.
Okay.
Yeah, frangipane. Okay. He agrees with that, guys. Antoine nodded at that. He likes that. Marzipan. Yeah.
But it's got good acidity. On the tip of your tongue, I'm getting that sort of zing of acidity, which I think makes it a really nice food wine. I think it's a 12.5% and quite light. It's a great summer wine, but it's got really good concentration of fruit, and it's a very well sort of quite a complex wine, and it makes it, I think, a really good food wine as well.
Just pour dire, since 5 or 6 years, I think the Gamay, the red, is more better, I think, because we have lot of sun. And enfin, pour ne pas avoir des notes végétales, on a besoin d'une belle maturité sur nos rouges.
Okay, so in order not to have lots of vegetable characteristics in the wine, you need a good hot summer. And so in the last few years, we've had some good summers, so it means it's a softer and not quite so vegetal. I quite like. There's some grassy flavors. So,
and this it's interesting. I like because it's full, puissant, mais fin, et on n'a pas. We have no tannin, strong tannin. It's light. The final is fresh, not. It's light. The final is light.
Yeah, so it's got lightweight, not lightweight, but light, not too heavy tannins, which means you can drink it, in my opinion, slightly chilled, which I am. And it makes it quite a fresh summer.
I think that's the broad commentary is. I think the grassy kind of soily notes people resonates, but I also think it is nice. It's unusual that it serves slightly cooler. Mark McCree says, but he says it's a very nice wine. I think there's a pattern across the Cremant, the Sauvignon Blanc, and then this wine. They're all very drinkable. You can drink, they're very easy to drink.
Yes.
I know. You can drink them on their own. But yeah, there's just less complexity and more, just an enjoyable experience, I think.
These are designed, they're not designed to be summer wines because they're made to be drunk at any time. But I've selected them for this summer tasting because I think these are all really good summers. I could have a summer barbecue and just have these 3 bottles and it would cover every eventuality. Not that I'm wishing to curtail things, but there is a football match on television coming up shortly that some of us might want to watch. So, Rachel, do you think, are there any more questions for Antoine before we close?
It's a personal question. How much is the final bottle of the Evening in the Red?
It's the same as the white. The Sauvignon Blanc and the Gamay are the same, 11, 12 pounds, something like that.
Perfect. Everyone says bargain. Must get to France. Great value. Thank you, Antoine, for your passion and for your wonderful presentation.
Sorry for my English. I have to
Non, c'est
improve.
parfait. Non, c'est bon.
Okay. Merci. Alors, Antoine, merci beaucoup. And we look forward to drinking a lot more of your wine. So thank you for joining us.
Oui, merci beaucoup.
Merci. Have a
Bonne
good
soirée.
weekend.
Thanks, everyone.
Au revoir.
Bye bye.
Bonne
Bonne
soirée.
soirée.
Merci, au revoir.